Hi students, I'm going to talk you through some of the chord progressions that we started discussing in the previous video, which is triads of the scale. So if you haven't watched that video yet, I would go back and watch that first if you're not familiar with how triads are built within a scale. So this first page of the packet that you can find under your current module in Canvas or under files in Canvas as well. This first walks you through some of the primary chord progressions, and most of these examples are in basic keys, either C, G, or F. So there's a couple different ways you can play primary chord progressions. First, you could just do, as I did in the triads of the scale video, you could play everything in root position. So if the primary triads are the tonic, subdominant, and dominant, or 1, 4, and 5, you could just play those in root position. But a more common way to play on the piano is to use what we call common tones. So from one chord to the next, to get a smooth transition, we're going to find the notes in common with each chord. So for example, from the 1 chord to C, E, G, to the 4 chord, F, A, C, they both have a C in the chord. So as you can see in the handout, I'm going to leave the C in the same place and move the other 2 notes of the chord. So now our F chord is in a different position, or an inversion of the F chord. We can go back to C. Next chord is the G7. The G7 adds a 7, which is the F. And from the C chord to the G7, they both have a G in common, so we'll leave the G in that position, change the B and the F. We can leave the D out for this purpose. So here's our primary chord progression in C. If we do that in F major, remember F has a B flat in the key. So our 4 chord and our 5, 6, 5 both will have the B flat. Here's the primary chord progression in F. And here's the primary chord progression in the key of G. G has the F sharp, so watch out for that in this 5, 7. So here's our G chord, 4 chord, back to G, 5, 7 with the F sharp, and back to G. Okay, the last part of this example just takes you back through the C progression. Example 2 on this page is the same progression, and the right hand is played the same way, but in this example we're going to play just the root notes of the left hand, so just the C, F, or G when it's in the key of C. And this is just another style of playing, and we'll talk about why in a minute. So here the right hand still plays the chords, left hand is just playing the root position. You do that in F, 1, 4, 1, 5. You can do that in the key of G. Same thing, left hand just playing the root notes. Now if you're improvising, you might want to add octaves on the left hand just to give it a beefier sound. This is a really common way people accompany themselves. If they're singing a melody, they might play the chord in the right hand, the bass notes in the left hand, and singing the melody. So that's why we want to try to play it this way as well. The next page is the same primary chord progression, but this is in a minor key. So when we're doing minor keys, we're using harmonic minor, and this is why, because we want our 5/7 to still have that half step leading back to our tonic. So in the A minor example, we start with our A minor chord, go to the 4 chord, also minor, D minor, back to A minor. The 5/7 has a G sharp in it. That's because of the harmonic minor form that we use to create the harmonies. Without that leading tone, it doesn't sound as good. Here's what it sounds like without it. So the leading tone gives it more urgency to return to the tonic. Here's that same progression in D minor. D minor has a B flat as well as the raised C sharp. Here's the third example is E minor. E minor has a D sharp. Back to E minor. Okay, example 2 on this page. That should say primary chord progression in a minor key again. I accidentally said major key, but these are minor keys. They're taking this challenge a little bit farther. They want you to try, once you're comfortable playing this chord progression, that you just move up chromatically and do the chord progression on every single minor key. It's going to be a challenge if you haven't done that before. So we're going back to the root notes in the left hand. If I just take every single note up a half step, now I'm on B flat minor. Up a half step, now I'm on B minor. Another half step up, C minor. And so on. So you can challenge yourself, see if you can do these chord progressions in every single key. If you're not ready for that, just stick with a few of the basics like we have on this worksheet. Okay, that's it for primary chord progressions. The next video I'll show you is going to add some secondary chords in. Okay, good luck.